This is the biggest mistake that new writers make, especially indie authors. You want to know what it is? Hi, I'm Eva Pohler, a USA Today best-selling author of over 45 novels, a writing professor for over 3 decades, and a professional editor. And today I want to talk to you about the biggest mistake I see indie authors making, and that is poor formatting. Yes, that's it. Imagine you pick up a book where the font changes from page to page, or the spacing is off, or the margins are off, or it isn't justified, or there are certain pages like copyright pages that need to be on the left side of the page and odd page numbers that need to be on the right hand side of the page. Imagine you pick up a book and you see that it's not professionally formatted. Why would you read such a book? Because you've already lost faith in the author. It's so important, writers, that you take formatting seriously, especially if you want your books picked up in libraries, sold in bookstores, and purchased and read by other people other than you and your mother. There are formatting guidelines out there for free. In fact, I even have formatting guidelines linked below that should be able to help you. You know it's really important. And I know you're trying to cut corners because as an indie author, you just don't have a lot of money to spend, so you don't want to hire a professional formatter. But if you use the guide that I have linked below, it should be enough advice to get you by. I also have a course if you want even more information, and I am a professional formatter myself, so you can always hire me. But there are so many important mistakes that people make. I see all the time. The numbers not, the page numbers on the wrong side of the book, the header not being professional, scene breaks not obvious, chapter breaks starting in the middle of a page. It's so important that you get these right, okay? And there are even templates that you can get. That's what I did. You can use Vellum or Atticus or Scrivener. These are software that will really help you with the formatting, right? They can be a little pricey, and but you can also use Microsoft Word, which is what I do, if you don't have a lot of special things that you need to add. If it's just going to be simple text, Microsoft Word, get a template. I think I paid either $50 or $99 or something like that from designtemplates.com, I believe. These were Microsoft Word templates already made for you. You just copy and paste your text into the different style fonts. One of the major problems that I see, using tabs or spaces for paragraph indents. Once this book converts to an EPUB, those are all gone. It's all weird, funky looking, okay? Inconsistent line spacing or justification, weird font choices. You want to make sure that you use really classic fonts like, I use Garamond, but you can also use Georgia or Times New Roman. Ignoring the widow or orphan control, where this is where you just have one line of text on a single page. Skipping headers and footers. Those make your text look professional. And if you try to use Word for really complex ebook layouts, you might be disappointed. So anyway, like I said, you could learn to do this yourself. That's what I did. You can use Vellum, which only works on a Mac. You could use Scrivener. There's Atticus. What I do is I do it in Word, and then I use either Smashwords or Draft2Digital or Nook Press to convert my Word doc into an EPUB, and it's easy peasy. Calibre is another, I think it's free software that you can download and use to convert your Word docs into EPUBs. Now, you can always hire a professional formatter, and it might not be a bad idea to do this with your first book, because then you can see what a professionally formatted book looks like, and then you can learn how to do it yourself and make sure that it's up to snuff based on the first one. And like I said, you could use templates. I think that is a really easy and inexpensive way to make sure that your formatting is properly done. Remember, your story deserves to shine and be read by readers all over the world, but they won't take a chance on your book if the formatting is unprofessional looking. If you found this video helpful, please be sure to give it a like. Please share it with your friends. Leave me a comment below and let me know what you think about formatting. That's it. I hope you have a great day. Bye, writers. Happy writing.